Hello and welcome to the talk series of International Council on Human Rights, Peace and Politics, Center for Peace and Conflict Studies. Today with us we have Mr. Hadi, sir. Thank you so much, Professor. We are really grateful that you agreed to accept our invitation today and enlighten us about the entire Kurdish conflict dynamics. I would like to take this moment to wholeheartedly thank you for gracing us with your presence today. I, on the behalf of the Council, would like to welcome you to share your expert opinion on this issue, and we are really excited to learn from you because our Council, as an academic think tank, values expert opinion and supports free speech. And this will become a valuable part of our ongoing research project. So our ongoing research project focuses on redefining peace, and our center member Jamila has written a paper on the Kurdish dilemma in Turkey, and she's analyzed it through the lens of Johan conflict triangle theory. So it examines the issue from three dimensions: behavior, contradiction, and attitude. So we wanted to know your opinion on this entire Kurdish conflict and what do you think about this issue. So we want to hear your thoughts on this, sir.
Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you and all other friends. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity given to me to present the Kurdish case to the international community and also the scholars and other experts. It's although known issue, but honestly, there are always some essential points missed. I checked through academic journals and books. I can say easily 40, 50,000 PDF files that specifically deals with human rights violations of Kurds in Turkey, prison conditions, education, banning the Kurdish language, and others. But they all miss why this conflict started. They always talk about terrorism, counter-terrorism, separatism, irredentist activism, and self-determination. But honestly, some NGOs like CSIS and Human Rights Watch and some other really important NGOs doing peace and conflict studies in Oslo, like ISPR, but they all miss why this conflict exists. This conflict exists by choice. That Turkey made a decision to say Kurds are not exist. Like there is zero Kurdish population, not only in Turkey, in the whole world. Then they said, you know what, maybe this is too extreme. Let's make Kurds mountain Turks. They are actually Turkish, but they live in the mountains. They forget who they are. So we will re-educate them, remind them they are actually Turkish. And that didn't work. And they say, you know what, these are terrorists. Actually, so we're fighting against them. But these terrorists didn't come from the moon, didn't come from another planet. They are Turkish citizens. They live in Turkey. They educated in Turkish language. They went to work for the state and many other private institutes. They went to become scholars. They become lawyers. But they are Kurdish, and they realized that the government is not acting as their own government. Then you say, you know what, I want my own government treat me like its own citizen. So I want Kurdistan. I don't want to be Turkish. I don't want to be part of Turkey anymore. Same thing happened in Iraq. Saddam Hussein regime was well known. They used 28 times chemical weapons and say, you know what, I don't want to recognize Kurds. But at the end, USA occupied Iraq, Saddam Hussein taken to international tribunal, and then he got executed. Now, the peace issue is also rejected by Turkey to say there are Kurds and they deserve peace. They deserve their ethnic identity to be recognized. If they are Turkish citizens, but different ethnic background, like America is a multinational state. There are Italian Americans, Spanish Americans, Chinese Americans. So in Turkey too, I am a Kurd from Turkey. I'm a Kurd, but I'm a Turkish citizen. Turkey said, no, definitely, I don't accept this. This started political movement that Kurds set up magazines, peaceful protest associations from 1923 till 1984. All those years, Kurds tried peaceful academic parliamentary struggle. but it didn't work out. In 1984, a group emerged with the name of PKK, Kurdistan Workers' Party, and in Kurdish is Partiya Karkeren Kurdistan. That's why it is known as PKK, it's in its initials. And say, you know what? We want to stop Turkish genocidal policies. We want to reintroduce a constitution that recognizes Kurds, and we want territorial autonomy where the Kurds are owner of the land and they are majority of the land. There is a land called Kurdistan by Ottoman Empire, by Persian Empire, and by the Arab resources, that there is a land called Kurdistan. But after 1923, Turkey said no. So after 1984, when PKK started the war, Turkey a little bit asked for Western government support, and it was member of NATO already. So all NATO members said no to the Kurdish rights. The Kurds are terrorists. They are fighting against Turkey. Turkey is NATO member, so we have to support Turkey. But NATO bylaws and many other Western governments, international consortium like opening up NGOs, one of them is UN. So they have their own mechanisms to deal with these issues. Like United Kingdom had the IRA problem, and they called IRA terrorists. And they, for years, they said, we're not going to negotiate with terrorists. But one day, America joined it, and they had a trilateral meetings, UK, USA, and IRA, and they signed the Good Friday Agreement. So United Kingdom is member of NATO, and Turkey is member of NATO. So United Kingdom getting a special treatment, but Turkey not. So why USA or UK not joining between PKK and Turkey and say, you know what, we already have an experience to how to deal with IRA. Let's carry out this experience to the PKK and the Kurds in Turkey. And Kurds in Turkey, minimum 30 million people. And you calling PKK and the pro-PKK Kurds who are saying that PKK is okay, I have a sympathy. Let's say 10 million Kurds support PKK in Turkey, then you calling 10 million people terrorists? So you arrest 1 million people, put in prisons, massive torture. At least 1 million Kurds pass through the systematic tortures in Turkey. And all these people now, you think they will be happy with Turkish laws? They will be happy with the Turkish political system? No. They join the forces, they go for mountains, become a fighter, and they go Europe, they open up other associations, and they expose Turkey. But Kurds says, we want peace. We want, okay, we are Turkish citizens, but we are not Turkish. Why Turkey does not want to accept? Then maybe USA, Germany, Canada, Italy, many other countries are their ally of Turkey in NATO and in bilateral relations, but they already know human rights, international humanitarian law, and many other aspects. So they can say, you know what, we can help Kurds to stop this. On the contrary, they are helping Turkey, making the violations unnoticed, invisible, and not taken to ICC or International Criminal Court. Like these days, they are taking Israel to the International Criminal Court for similar things that they say Turkey is doing to the Kurds in Turkey, doing for Kurds in Syria and Kurds in Iraq. But no, nobody wants to take Turkey to International Criminal Court because member of NATO. So Western Gulf believes they have kind of an obligation, but their obligation is to human rights. Their obligation is to peace and democracy. NATO claims one of the 5 articles, original articles that NATO created, is to support peace and democracy around the world. So I ask, are Kurds not in this world? You can ask for Kenya, you can ask for Mozambique, you can ask for Vietnam, you can ask for Kashmir, you can ask for Tamils in Sri Lanka, but never mention Kurds. That's not good. So peace studies, international law studies, and peace building, peacemaking, armed conflict, they are only the beginning to understand this issue. This is the academic framework. But someone, let's say a government expert, giving a report to the State Department, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of National Defense, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Ministry of Education, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Turkey, and other countries, then you know where to start. You have the public ways. You have people to talk. They don't have to be people in uniform, like PKK fighters or Turkish military, but people on the street, the one really affected. Let's say a Kurdish baby born in Turkey, you cannot name your baby with a Kurdish name. It's illegal. Why naming a Kurdish baby with a Kurdish name is illegal? And NATO supporting this policy. So how Kurds can ask for peace if you cannot name your baby even with a Kurdish name? Let's say street signs. You cannot have a street sign in Kurdish. At one time in 1990s, Turkish government changed the traffic light color yellow to blue. So traffic light become red, blue, and green, because red, yellow, and green, Kurdish national colors. But after so many Europeans and North Americans visited the region, academics doing studies, tourists, they noticed and they say, what is this? And maybe in a 3 months, 6 months period, Turkey stopped doing that. In 1982, Turkey made a law, they banned alphabet letters X, W, and Q, because Kurdish alphabet has these letters. So they want to stop Kurds writing in Kurdish. They ban X, W, and Q. No UN, no Western government, no serious NGOs say, what is this? These letters are in English. These letters are in Spanish. These letters are in Italian. These letters are in French. These letters are in German. So what these people will do in Turkey? They say, no, if you are English, it's okay, you can use. If you are German, you can use. Well, you cannot use only if you are Kurdish. And NATO, UN, European Union, all they are okay with this. Honestly, I don't see any protest. I don't see any linguistic rights commissions of UN or other places say, excuse me, I'm sorry, this is a violation, you cannot do this. But they say no. So they're telling Kurds to be peaceful, don't go to terrorism, don't go armed struggle, don't fight Turkey. But in return, what Turkey presents to them as a solution. Like for Palestinians, they say two-state solution. So for Kurds, we are a different nation. We live on a different land. We have different historical background. Only, let's say, majority of Kurds are Muslim and majority of Turks are Muslim. So only connections is religion. But they still use Islam religion as a tool against Kurds. They say, oh, we are all Muslim, so we are all Ummah, we are all belong to one religious group. Don't say you are Kurdish. And you are telling me, don't say you are Kurdish in Turkish, but you are not telling me, don't say you are Kurdish in Arabic. You're not telling me, don't say you are Kurdish in English, but you are telling me that in Turkish. So I tell you back in Kurdish, yes, we are all Muslim, but you say, hey, I don't understand. This is a different language. So I ban your language, you speak only Turkish. Then we can understand each other. So how you understand the English people? How you understand the Chinese people? So there are Turkish experts work for the Turkish government. They are specialized in Chinese language. They specialize in Spanish. When the Turkish prime minister or president travel around the world, they take their translators with them. So why you don't want to take a translator for the Kurdish language? You set up universities, you set up institutes, teach Kurdish, and people learn. You can treat English as a language, but you don't treat Kurdish as a language. They define it in the court as unknown language. Unknown language, why? We are extraterrestrials. We are from Mars, Venus, Jupiter, somewhere else. We are not from this planet. What do you mean unknown language? Unknown to you, unknown, it's known to English. Unknown to you, it's known to the Arabics. It's unknown to you, it's known to the Indians. How come it's only unknown to Turkey? So the peace with NATO, peace with the European Union, peace with the UN is actually their duty, their obligation to help and support Kurdish people. They are the one made the decolonization law. They are the one make PR2 responsibility to protect. They made the one a law that you can bypass UN resolution, you can authorize an intervention. They did it in Libya, they did it in Kosovo. So USA did for Iraq. They passed by the UN Security Council. So it was a unilateral intervention. But when it comes to Turkey, Turkey used chemical weapons. Turkey systematically destroying Kurdish resisting genocidal policies. Kurds are resisting against war crimes. Kurds are resisting against militarized assimilation that means extermination of the Kurds. When all Kurds become Turkish people, what's going to happen to the Kurds? They will be exterminated. When you tell this to all NGOs, UN and EU and NATO, they say, yeah, but Turkey is our ally, Turkey is our member. So we have to support Turkey. So you're supporting Turkey's genocide? You're supporting Turkey's war crimes? At one point, you have to wake up and say, no, we are doing wrong. We have to change our policies. 1923, 2023, 100 years, Kurds has been dealing with this issue. So it's enough. Kurds had suffered. This has to stop. And the only way to stop this, the Western governments, NATO members, they have to change their policies regarding to Turkey. They have to change their policies regarding to the Kurds. Now, Kurds in Syria fighting ISIS with coalition government. They are allied with USA, France, Britain, Italy, Germany. They set up anti-ISIS coalition and Kurds part of it. And Turkey is part of it. Now, who's Turkey attacking? Turkey attacking Kurds in Syria. They are coalition members fighting against the same enemy. But Americans say nothing. France, UK, Germany, Italy say nothing. Last year, this time, Turkey even attacked US military in Syria, attacked US military in Iraq. And I checked all the papers, I Googled it, internet search, everything. USA did not protest Turkey. USA did not threaten Turkey with sanctions. If this was another government, I believe USA will invade in a week. You know what? Hey, you attack me, I'm going to show you now. But it's Turkey. Say, okay, sorry. Next time, we will not be very careful about Kurds. Then you say, hey, I'm your ally. You're betraying me. I say, it's okay. You know, we did in the past. We will do it again. But this has to stop because Kurds are known. Kurds are also understand how to apply diplomatic pressure. There is 30 million Kurds in Turkey, 15 million Kurds in Iran, around 8 million Kurds in Iraq, around 2.5 million, 3 million Kurds in Syria. But there are Kurds in Lebanon, there are Kurds in Israel, there are Kurds in Egypt, there are Kurds in Afghanistan, there are Kurds in Pakistan, there are Kurds in Tanzania, Uganda. Honestly, there are Kurds almost everywhere. And this diaspora is very unhappy with Turkey. And these people are becoming members of parliaments. These people becoming government officials. And they brought up, many of them will be an employee in the World Bank, an employee World Health Organization, an employee at the UN at the high level. They are American citizens, but they are Kurds. They are Italian citizens, but they are Kurds. They are German citizens, but they are Kurds. When they got to those positions and they're going to face the report about Turkey, of course they will react. They say, you know what? It's time to initiate different processes. I am a Canadian Kurd. I am free in Canada. But why not? I'm not free in Turkey. Why Turkey cannot be like Canada? Canada is 12 provinces. So make Turkey 12 provinces and one of them Kurdish. In Canada, one of the provinces is Quebec. It's all French. So Canada recognized. America is 50 states. 50. None of them say, you know what? I am not part of America because I am a different ethnic group. They are all blended. In Turkey, there are at least 70 different nations. There are Arabs, there are Persians, there are Laz, there are Greeks, there are Armenians, there are Jews. And they are all okay. They can read and write in their language. They can set up TV programs. They can set up radio. Because there's the law, languages other than Turkish. But when it comes to Kurds, no. They have to find very fine crafted bylaws and regulations to stop anything positive for Kurds. So when I involve in peace studies, when I see the scholarships, when I see how the issue is treated, it's not fair. It's not honest. It's not scholarly. And when you compare those studies with others, and I see the Kurds are treated very unfairly. And last maybe 40 years or so, the Kurdish diaspora is becoming more actively involved. And honestly, it's all about peace. Because when they go back to Turkey, like me as an activist in Canada, if I go back to Turkey, I will be arrested. For being Kurds in Canada, I will be arrested in Turkey. Or for being a Kurd in Germany, to set up a Kurdish association for Kurdish language, culture, music, all kinds of trainings and skills. You cannot go back to Turkey because you are doing Kurdish activism overseas or in other countries. So Turkey's Kurdish oppression is not only in Turkey. Turkey's Kurdish oppression is global. And diaspora, maybe around 10 million now. Around 3 million only in Germany. Around 1 million in USA. Maybe around 1 million in UK. So this is becoming a pressuring issue. And Turkey, with its own wrong policies with Western governments and certain issues, like allied with Iran and Russia against Western coalition in Syria. They are officially saying it. And then in Syria, they are like, it is all well documented by videos, pictures, confessions, that Turkey is supporting ISIS. ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed at the Turkish-Syrian border. You are an ISIS leader, and Turkey fighting ISIS officially because it's a member of anti-ISIS coalition, and you're living at the Turkish border. So Turkey cannot cross 5 kilometers to arrest you. Americans has to fly a couple 100 kilometers, come and bomb you. That's what happened. America bombed his and killed him. He was at the Turkish border. I can say for lunch, he was going to a Turkish restaurant, eat and come back. It was so close. But then the Western governments, they know Turkey is attacking Kurds in Syria, and ISIS is there, and they are fighting ISIS, and Kurds are allied. The picture is very clear. They say, Turkey, excuse me, you cannot attack Kurds. They are our ally. It's protected by us. And you are an ally. You're supposed to support them. You are on the same team. So the peace with Turkey is not only the Turkey and Kurds peace in Turkey. It's also Turkey has to make peace with Kurds in Syria. Turkey has to make peace with Kurds in Iraq. Turkey also has to make peace with Kurds in Iran, because many Iranian Kurds escaped to Turkey, then they applied to UN refugee agency to become an immigrant to another Western country. Turkey arrests them and send back to Iran. So Turkey has to make peace with Kurds, but not only the Kurds in Turkey. It's a general issue. Turkey is fighting against Kurds in Iraq, fighting against Kurds in Syria, and fighting against Kurds in Iran. So Turkey is a major problem. So to say Kurds wants the peace with Turkey, then Iran, Iraq, Syria, the way they are connected, all four of them are anti-Kurdish. Turkey is a member of NATO. Iran is allied with many other countries. Syria and Iraq, member of Arab League and Islamic Conference. So the Kurdish issue become an international, a global issue, because all of these different camps are fighting against Kurds. Saddam Hussein, we know what he did to the Iraqi Kurds. and America invaded because Iraq was a failed state. Iraq was going to dismember. To stop the Kurds becoming an independent state, America invaded Iraq. It's so simple. The reason America invaded Iraq to stop Kurds from becoming an independent state. So they fixed Iraq from a failed state to restart again. But Iraq is failed state since 1936 when the Britain created. They forced Kurds by chemical weapons, by Royal Air Force bombing the Kurds in 1916, 1917, 1918. UK forced Kurds to be part of Iraq. The Kurds were asking independence at that time. What didn't happen? World War I and World War II, Cold War, they were all against Kurds. Soviet Union was communist. Soviet Union was threat. And they were saying Soviet Union supporting Kurds because we are Western. So Soviet Union is using Kurds against Western camps, against Turkey, because Turkey is with Western countries. Turkey is a member of NATO. After 1991, Perestroika, Glasnost happened. Most of the Soviet Union documents published. And we know this was a big lie. Soviet Union never supported Kurds. Even in the Syrian civil war, Russian forces occupied Kurdish region Afrin in Syria. And when Turkey asked Russia to occupy by the Turkish military, Russia said, okay. So Russia betrayed Syrian Kurds. Russia is not wanted by the Syrian Kurds in Syria. And Kurds in Turkey know Russia supporting Turkey against them. And Russia is allied with Iran. So Kurds in Iran too, they know how bad is Russia. But the Western governments, their intelligence agencies, counter-terrorism reports always lied. Kurds are used by the communists. This is a big balloon. Thanks God, 1991, this balloon exploded. So Kurds are asking for peace in this situation I explained, that UN does not want to involve as a third party, USA does not want to involve as a third party, UK and other countries. Kurds need a third party. 2008, 2013, for 5 years, Turkish government and PKK met in Oslo. It's called Oslo Peace Process. PKK said, if USA want to be third party, it's okay. USA calling PKK terrorist, but PKK said, okay. United Kingdom, if they want to be third party, PKK said, okay. United Kingdom called PKK terrorist. And they are Turkish allies. They support Turkey against PKK. Turkey is the one said no to USA as a third party, UK as a third party, United Nations Peace Office as a third party, and many other NGOs that they can help. Turkey said, no, this is our internal matter. We don't want third party. But in the peace process, third party is the one guaranteeing that both sides will sign it, the peace agreement document. How I know the last minute you will say, I'm not signing. That's what happened with Turkey. When ISIS created in Iraq, then ISIS joined with the other groups in Syria, then it became ISIS of Syria and Iraq. That's the ISIS name. Then ISIS occupied Turkish consulate in Mosul in Iraq for 49 days. And then Turkey officially negotiated with ISIS. ISIS had an ambassador of Turkey. They negotiated. And then they saw these guys are anti-Kurdish. These guys are okay with Turkey. So you know what? Let's support them. So let ISIS fight Kurds. What ISIS did, they wanted a passage from Iraq to Syria, and that passage was Yazidi Kurds. It's the Kurdish people, but they are non-Muslim. They have their own faith. Then around 700,000 of them were dispersed. Maybe 10,000 of them were slaved. 15,000 women enslaved. And one of the slave market was inside Turkey, in the city of Gaziantep. They were selling and buying Kurdish women. And then another one in 1992, 1993 was in Egypt. Iraqi Kurdish women were sold in markets after the Anfal campaign. All these are documented. And Kurds are asking for peace. Like, if I have an atomic bomb that America did on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, You got so angry, you say, I'm going to bomb Turkey with atomic bomb. Somehow you need this to stop. The only way you want to use is diplomacy, because you're a nice guy. You don't want to cause trouble. You are okay with the Western governments. Please, I want the peace. Please, I want to live as peace in the peace. Please, I want to live as Kurd. I don't want to be Turkish. Say, sorry, we are supporting Turkey. But this has to stop. And this globalization is 21st century. There is a big human progress. We're talking about satellites in the space. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about robotics, that they will do whatever you want, that the humans are incapable of doing many heavy lifting or other stuff. This will do it. We are so advanced, supposedly, but the Kurds, they live in these conditions. So me as a peace activist, as a former Kurdish official with the Kurdish Association, I saw, even where I live now in Canada, I am so limited to push for the peace. It has to develop. It has to be in a much more mature situations, much more mature conditions, that an international conference with NATO and UN and European Union, even India, China, join and say, Turkey, this has to end. You have to recognize Kurds as Kurds and recognize as your citizen, and they live as a majority in certain territories, so they have a right to self-rule where they are the majority. Then this armed struggle, this war, Turkey's war on Kurds, will end. We waited 100 years. Honestly, 100 years is way, way too long for any struggle. I sincerely appreciate International Peace, Human Rights and Conflict Institute give me this chance. And if there is any other questions, that I will be more specific to provide. But I believe I kind of touch all the issues related to Kurdish peace with Turkey.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the time to speak with us and for sharing your invaluable insights. I greatly appreciate your thoughtful contribution to our understanding about the complex situation surrounding the Kurdish people, and your analysis on how the Turkish government has systematically undermined the Kurdish culture and identity through domestic repression strategy was especially enlightening. And I will make sure that we incorporate these perspectives into our ongoing research. And I would generally say that the session was truly insightful, and we are grateful for the knowledge you have shared with us. And if our center members have any further questions, they will forward it to me, and I will be happy to relay them to you via mail. And personally, I found this discussion to be incredibly eye-opening, because given the incomplete and misleading information I had previously seen in various media outlets, I genuinely learned a lot through this session. And I'm happy to say that I guess our members are also very happy with the valuable insights you've shared on the broader context of this conflict. Thank you once again for your time and expertise, and we look forward to having more sessions with you in future.
You are welcome. I thank you for giving me this opportunity.